Hi fans, and welcome to this 2016 Week 2 edition of the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show. Last Friday night, the Wolverines traveled to Monroeville, Pennsylvania and defeated the Gateway Gators 37-21. This Friday, Woodland Hills opens up conference play as they host the Baldwin Highlanders at the Wolverina. We're going to sit down with Woodland Hills head coach George Novak to review last week's game against Gateway, preview this week's game against the Highlanders, and we'll also let you see highlights of last Friday night's game. All of that and more on the pregame show here on the Woodland Hills Football Network. Shotgun, high snap, but again the handoff will go to the second man through the hole, coming from left to right is Saeed Holt, and Holt will pick up the first down. High snap, but Whitehurst will corral it, throwing left, and it's a jump ball, and it's corralled by a Wolverine. Down there, down the far sideline goes a Woodland Hills receiver, finally brought down at the 5-yard line. Avram Abramovitz with the huge reception. He went up for the jump ball, and the basketball player turned footballer comes down with a huge play for the Wolverines. And it will squeak inside a left upright. Good angle kick by the sophomore Charles Hinchik. Gateway, a couple of Wolverines back, including Denard Washington, as the punt is blocked by Woody High. Saeed Holt got the block. It's pushed into the end zone, and the Wolverines will score a touchdown on the block punt. Covering it up is Jawan Hill. Snap again, sailing over the head of the quarterback and Brady Walker, and he will be brought down well deep in the backfield. And now quarterback Brady Walker pressured, hit as he releases the football, and the pass is intercepted by the Wolverines. Running from right to left with the football in his hands is Michael Coleman, and Coleman still on his feet inside of the 30, inside of the 20, cutting it back, still on his feet inside the 10, dancing to the right-hand side where he will be brought down at the 11-yard line. And it's 1st and 10 for Woodland Hills inside of the Gators red zone. Saeed Holt, the ball carrier, driving his way inside of the 5. He'll be brought down at the 4-yard line. Hard count by Whitehurst. He'll hand off. Saeed Holt bouncing it right, cutting it back to the left-hand side, and he will cross the goal line for a Woodland Hills touchdown. Low and over-end kick bounces into the return man's hand at the 14-yard line. Running from left to right is Dylan Urban, and Urban finds a crease, and he is now off to the races, finally being spun down inside of Woody High territory. The end around for the Gators. It's Brisker running from right to left, and he will cross the goal line for a Gateway touchdown. And Gateway gonna run a muddle huddle, try to go for 2. They complete the pass, and catching that pass is Harvey Hicks. Woodland Hills bringing the house, and they will bat the ball back. Saeed Holt was the first man there. And again, to the air goes Walker, and he will complete his first pass of the football game. Jaquan Brisker on the reception, and Brisker has absolutely been a Wolverine killer here in the second quarter. Sidecar to his left as he'll throw to the left-hand side. The pass is complete to the running back. No, they're going to say that he caught the ball, fumbled it, and it's scooped up. Saeed Holt's going to go to the house. Nobody's going to catch him as he's inside of the 20, 15, 10, 5. End zone touchdown, Woodland Hills, as the fumble by Dylan Urban costs Gateway great field position and leads to a Woody High TD. A lobbing kick will be caught at the 25-yard line. The return man is Elijah McDonald for Gateway, and again he's off to the races. McDonald brought down. Walker looking right the whole way. The pass complete to Harvey Hicks, and Hicks off to the races down the near sideline, and he's still on his feet. Finally forced out of bounds along the near boundary inside of the 25. Snap a little high, but it's corralled, and Walker's going to run the option to the left. The ball's loose on the carpet. Saeed Holt's going to scoop it up yet again. Whitehurst is the quarterback to start the second half. He will hand off to the sidecar. The ball came loose, and I think Gateway fell on top of it. And a nice ball fake there by the QB Walker, and he will complete the pass down the middle to Jaquan Brisker, and they'll say Brisker is able to get the ball across the goal line for a Gateway touchdown, covering 30 yards. Handoff on the counter. Running from right to left goes Jawan Hill, spinning across the 35. First down and more for the Wolverines. Jones stiff arms as he runs to his right-hand side. He's going to throw it out there to the right-hand side. The pass complete to a Sheed Page Jones. It's a Woody High first down. And great field awareness there, Freddie, by Daniel Jones. We'll hand off to Seed Holt, who has the first down and more. He'll spring free. 15, 10, 5. End zone. Touchdown, Woodland Hills. A 30-yard touchdown run for Seed Holt. Twins to either side. Walker in the shotgun off of play action. Looks to his right, throws to his right. And the pass is intercepted by the Wolverines. On the pick is Jay Smith, and Jay Smith will be brought down inside of the 5 at around the 2-yard line. Hand off. The ball carrier running from left to right is Jawan Hill. He'll absorb contact, then drive his way across the goal line for a Woodland Hills touchdown. Snap sails well over the head of Jones. Wolverines forced to retreat, but instead Gateway will fall on the football. Walker shotgun. Option to the right, fakes the pitch, and he will cross the goal line for a Gateway touchdown.
We are the Woodland Hills Wolverines. Since 1987, we've been a part of some of the most electrifying football games in Western Pennsylvania, and we've established a national reputation of excellence. Whether you're a former player, a Woody High alum, a parent, or a fan, you're part of our Wolverine family. And now you can join us by becoming a part of our new booster club, the Wolverine Nation. Visit WHFBA.org and see how your donation can help our student athletes while earning you unique benefits. We're more than just a booster club. We are the Wolverine Nation.
Hi again, fans, and welcome back to this Week 2 episode of the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show. Adam Gusky here, sitting down with Woodland Hills head coach George Novak. And Coach Novak, before we talk about this week's home opener against the Baldwin Highlanders, let's take a look back to last Friday. A good win against the Gateway Gators. It was a bit of a sloppy football game, but overall you've got to be happy with the results.
Yeah, Adam, that's the first time ever in the state of Pennsylvania that you were allowed to play a football game on week 2 where you normally have a scrimmage. So a lot of the teams, I'd say about half the teams in WPL played a game and the other half still had a scrimmage. And, with as many kids and players as we graduated last year coming into this year, offensively we didn't have one starter back. Defensively we had 2 with a couple other guys that had some starts underneath their belts, but not the only 2 that started for the whole season last year. So, it was a big change getting ready. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to have a game, because this week is a conference game, and I wanted everybody to have a game under their belt before we opened up the conference game. And, it just worked out really well playing against Gateway, which is right our neighbor, our rival. So it worked out real well for us. And, it was a great game, competitive game. It wasn't over till it was over. Unfortunately, both sides had a lot of turnovers. We had more big plays than they did. That kind of set the momentum early, but they never were out of it. They kept coming back, and we kept letting them back in, and we had to keep going. And so it went back and forth. But I was proud of the kids. I'm glad we played the game. I think it'll be good for us because we got some young kids and we want to develop them, and no better way to develop them than get them under fire in a game.
In 2014, we saw Saheed Holt can play some football on the special teams. Last year, he emerged on defense and really a 3-tool player coming out of that Gateway game. He really shone offensive, defensive, and on special teams. Yeah,
he played on specials and defense last year, and we had 2 great backs, or he would have played some running back last year too. But we try to 2-platoon as much as we can. But he had a phenomenal game. He's been itching to play since the end of last year. He blocked a punt, picked up a fumble, ran it back for a touchdown, and then he had a running touchdown. He had 3 touchdowns, and it was just a great day for him.
Coach, let's talk about the offense a little bit more. First of all, the quarterback situation. It seemed like both Whitehurst and Jones had a couple of good moments.
Yeah. We knew, it's going to be a project. Either way, they're both juniors. They both worked hard. They both have a lot of pluses, a couple minuses in what they do. They're both good kids. It's tough with a quarterback, but you got to be fair to both of them. They're two kids, they've been with the program. If it was a guard or something and you rotate the guard, nobody would think anything of it. But, you know, when it's a quarterback, it's more of a position everybody sees all the time. But they're both add something to the team. They both bring something to the table. And, you know, and I think until as we go through, we'll see if one of them wins the job over, or, you know, we continue using two. You know, the good thing is if either one gets hurt, we still have somebody with experience ready to go. And, you know, we had some young quarterbacks. Izzy Reed, he's doing real well. And, you know, he had a real good game in the JV game. So, you know, he's getting better every week. And we have a young freshman, Craig Prince, that's quarterback. He's a good athlete. He's learning to be a quarterback, but, you know, he has a lot of potential. So, you know, we got some potential at quarterback, and, you know, we just got to nurture it and develop it.
Coach, let's talk about the defense. I think it was pretty strong performance by the Woodland Hills D.
Yeah, I think the defense definitely was a big part of it. I mean, we got beat on a couple passes, but we gave Gateway a lot of good field position, and the defense, you know, they hung in there. They played really tough. We were swarming to the ball. It's a no-name defense. They all played hard. We played with a lot. You know, we played with probably 22 different guys on defense. You know, because a lot of them play offense, so we rotated them on the defensive line and linebackers in the secondary. We were rotating a lot of people, so we got a lot of people with experience. We wanted to see them on film in the game and see how they could perform. And, you know, that's what you learn in your second scrimmage and your first 2 or 3 games, what you need to work on, what you need to get better on, and what you're good at, and who the players are, and try to piece them together and make the best football team we could have.
Kind of a dichotomy of a night special teams wise. Chucky Hanchett, the new kicker, really did a nice job. Got the field goal, a handful of point after touchdowns. He looked pretty good out there. However, the kick coverage team seemed to be a weakness.
Yeah, the kickoff coverage is something, and we worked on it today. Of course, it's the first thing we worked on today, because that was probably the worst part of Friday night. But it's good that we won the game and we learned from it. But, you know, and you got to give credit to Gateway, because they were well prepared for us and they did a good job too. Special teams, you know, the punt game was good. Punt block, that's not a block. He was just rushing and saw an opening. So we made some good plays on the punt team. And I'm real happy with the kids on special teams, except for the kickoffs, and we got to work on that and get better at it.
Talk a little bit more about the sophomore kicker. A lot of pressure on him the first points of the season.
Yeah, Chucky, he came out, he worked real hard in the spring and summer, and you know, he got better. Scotty Henderson, our kicking coach, works hard with him, and Coach Whitehurst and Mike's the holder. They worked all summer. And I'll be honest, we were a little weak on some of the blocking on the extra point that we got to work on. But I think it was McAllister's snaps were quick. Mike got the ball down, and it was a quick kick that, you know, that was the reason we got him through without being blocked. And, you know, he scored the first 3 points of the season. Had 4 extra points, so he had a good night for a rookie kicker. And he made a tackle.
Well, Coach, before we talk about this week's game against the Baldwin Highlanders in earnest, let's talk about the fact that this is the 30th season of Woodland Hills football. You open up the 30th year here at the Wolverina.
Yeah, it is a special year. It's hard to believe 30 years have gone by, you know. I don't know where the years went. Had a lot of great kids come through here. You know, a lot of them still live in the district. Some of them are coaching the midgets. Some of them coach with me. Some of them have children at Woodland Hills. It's just, you know, it's nice to see and watch the guys that have come through the program be successful in their careers and move on. And, you know, the hundreds and hundreds of guys that have played Woodland Hills football. You know, I'm proud of all of them. And, you know, of course, you're being one of them. But, you know, there's so many of them that, you know, and so many hundreds and thousands of stories to tell, and games to rehash, and you know, the great coaches I've had over the years here. I've had some great, phenomenal coaches and great character people, and the people I've worked with, the administration, has just been fantastic. The superintendents, the principals, the teachers, school boards, you know, they've all been very, very receptive. And, you know, the midget football programs, our football boosters groups. I've had so many great booster groups that really helped the program. And I think it's all part of why we've been successful. It's not one thing, it's just a lot of things that football is important at Woodland Hills, and I'm just proud to be a part of it and be here for my 30th season, and it's a good feeling for me, and look forward to the season. Keep on working.
Well, let's talk about this week's game now, Coach. You've got the Baldwin Highlanders coming into the Wolverina. Number one, it's the home opener. Number two, it's a conference game, so obviously very important.
Yeah, it's an important game, and it's why it's good that we have that one under our belt. It's kind of a two-sided sword, though, because they played a scrimmage against Thomas Jefferson. So we didn't get to see them do a lot of things like special teams and, situation defenses and offenses where they got to see us play through a whole game. So we have the experience of it. They have the benefit of watching us, our mistakes and good things, but, we're going to improve on those mistakes. And, hopefully it'll be to our advantage to play that game. And, you never know going into the conference. Baldwin has a good coach. He does a great job, Coach Wagner. And, he's trying to improve the program and build a program over there. He has some good athletes every year. They built this year, their emphasis was on defense and putting a lot of their speed on defense. And they play a 3-3-5, which is unorthodox. We don't see that a lot, but similar to what West Virginia does. They have 5 secondary guys, and they do a lot of stunting and movement on the guys up front. And, play a lot of man coverage with the free safety. They're always going to have 6, 7, 8 guys in the box. So, it's a challenge. But, take them 1 week at a time, 1 day at a time, break them down, make a game plan, work hard at it, execute it Friday.
Talk about the Baldwin Highlander offense.
Offensively, they've changed to more of a spread offense, wide open offense. They do a lot of things that we did this year. We do this year and did last year in the past with the quarterback and the running back. The wide outs. They're trying to throw the ball a little bit more. They try to spread you over the field. And, they'll do the zone read and the quick passing game.
How do you feel you match up against them?
Well, they got some good athletes. I think we have a little bit more speed than them. It's hard to tell size-wise just on the film. They got a couple big guys, but speed-wise, I think we have a little advantage over them. But they're tough kids, and like I say, Coach will put together a good game plan for us. And you never know, this early in the season, the ball bounces funny sometimes. So we'll practice hard all week, try to prepare for them, and get ready to go.
Coach, one thing I noticed about Friday's game, and not just Friday's game, but this upcoming Friday's weather forecast and even the weather during camp, it's been much hotter than we've seen over the past couple of seasons. How do you adjust to that?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's probably been the hottest and most humid season that I can remember in my 40 years of coaching tennis, Steel Valley, and 30 here. It's been humid, and the water just drains out of you. And, we try to cut things down a little bit. Drink a lot of fluids, a lot of Gatorade, a lot of Powerade. You could tell at the game Friday, both teams were cramping up pretty good. A lot of our kids don't have a lot of fat on them. They're all muscle, and you got to keep it hydrated. And, we tell them start on Monday hydrating for the whole week because, when Friday gets here, your muscles are going to cramp up unless you're really hydrated. Coach D'Amico gives them the pickles and pickle juice before the game, and that seems to help us sometimes. But this humidity is tough with the heat.
Coach, before we let you go, let's talk about Miles Sanders. He was a star here at Woodland Hills for 4 seasons. He moved on to Penn State. He has had a great camp, and it looks like he's going to see some significant action for the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, they cannot keep an athlete like Miles off the field. I know they got some great running backs up there, but the offense they run, and Joe Moore is a Penn Hills guy that went to Central Catholic, lived in Penn Hills, and played there in the late 80s at Central. And he's one of the top offensive coaches, I think, in the country now. He's really doing well, and Penn State was fortunate to get him. And with Miles, he's going to use him. He's a Pittsburgh guy. He's a hometown boy for him, and they're going to use him with his athleticism and speed, whether they use him at slot or running back, motion guy, get the ball in his hands. He could do some damage. I think he'll be playing a lot for Penn State.
Coach Novak, thanks a lot for your time. Good luck this week against the Highlanders, and we'll talk to you again next week before the game at Fox Chapel.
Okay, Adam, I appreciate it. I just want to say hello to my grandchildren, Aiden, Ava, and Max. They've all been big Wolverine fans now since they were born, and they'll be rooting for us this year, and I know they watch the show. So just want to say hi to you guys. I hope you're having a good night, and root for the Wolverines. I love you.
We'll be right back after this with more of the pregame show here on the Woodland Hills Football Network.
Let's take a look at the Wolverines' results and remaining schedule. And now the MSA Sports WPIAL 5A Top 10 rankings.
Again, fans, we thank you for joining us for this Week 2 edition of the Woodland Hills Football Network pregame show. If you can't make it to the Wolverina on Friday night, you can listen to the game live on msasports.net. Watch our live stream on the Woodland Hills Football Network Facebook page. Select broadcasts throughout the season will also be streamed live on our YouTube channel. And as always, you can tune into the replays on Monroeville Comcast Channel 13, Penn Hills Comcast Channel 98, and Verizon Fios Channel 37, and all of our broadcasts are available in HD on our YouTube channel. For everybody at the Woodland Hills Football Network, I'm Adam Gusky, and we'll talk to you again next week as the Wolverines travel to Fox Chapel.
This has been a presentation of the Woodland Hills Football Network. Watch us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and as always, visit us at woodlandhillsfootballnetwork.com.